2,000 years ago, when the Roman Empire towered over the known world and its banners cast shadows from the sands of Egypt to the frozen forests of Germania, there lived a man who would become a legend, not for his conquests alone, but for his thoughts, his wisdom, and his unshakable spirit. His name was Marcus Aurelius, a ruler so different from the tyrants and kings before him that history remembers him not just as an emperor, but as the Philosopher King. Imagine Rome in its glory, golden temples rising against the sky, legions marching in thunderous rhythm, marble statues carved to outlast centuries, and in the heart of it all, a man crowned with the power to command nations, yet humble enough to question the meaning of life itself. Marcus was no ordinary emperor. He did not hide in luxury while others bled for him. When the empire's northern borders burned with war and barbarian tribes threatened to tear Rome apart, he marched with his soldiers into the bitter cold. The air was sharp with snow, the rivers frozen, and the forests alive with the cries of enemies who fought like wolves. Many emperors would have sent generals in their place, but Marcus stood on the battlefield himself, wrapped in a heavy cloak, his face set like stone, reminding his men that Rome's strength lay not only in walls and armies, but in courage and discipline. Yet what made him immortal was not just the clash of steel or the victories of war. It was what he did when the battles were over, when the campfires burned low and the empire slept. Alone with a lamp beside him, he would sit and write in his private journals, words not meant for history, but for himself. Those words became his book, Meditations, a collection of thoughts born from fire and silence, from war and reflection. In them he wrote of fate, of death, of the fleeting nature of glory, and above all of the strength a man must find within. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. These words, whispered to himself under the stars of a cold frontier, still speak to us today, louder than the roar of any empire. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome during its last golden age, holding together a world that trembled with unrest. And yet he never let the throne consume him. He knew crowns fade, armies vanish, and empires fall, but virtue and wisdom endure forever. In 180 AD, when death finally came for him, the people of Rome lit his body upon a great pyre. Flames rose into the night sky, embers dancing as though the empire itself mourned. And from those ashes, the memory of a ruler greater than a king was born, a man who conquered not only nations, but the storms of his own soul. Today, his statues still stand among ruins and columns, his gaze carved in marble, his hand lifted in eternal thought, as if reminding us across 2 millennia that true power is not the domination of others, but the mastery of the self. Empires crumble, centuries fade into dust, but the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius still burns like an unquenchable flame, calling out to every soul who dares to listen. The greatest victory a man can achieve is not in ruling the world, but in ruling himself.